Everyone, welcome back to Faithful You, and welcome back to Wales. This is a spinning, weaving, hand dyeing, sometimes sewing, sometimes crochet podcast. I've got a crochet cardigan on today that I did myself a couple of years ago. There is a video about it. I'll pop it in the I button for you. But it's a bit cold here today in Wales, and I was looking for something nice and bright and cheery to put on. I've also made myself one of these cows that I was making at Christmas with the alpaca and hand spun. And you know, it's lovely and warm round my neck. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry I've not been around. I've not been well. I spent most of January and into February not feeling very well. I got the virus that was going around at Christmas. I caught it over Christmas Day, and I came down with it on the Friday after Christmas, and I was ill ever since. Was really, really tired. I wasn't crafting, and I've just spent most of January getting this room organised. This is my new craft space now in the back room in the house, and I've come out of the garage and I've been beavering away really, really hard. It's morphed into many different things over the last couple of months. I built a big, massive sewing table. If I've got a video clip, I'll pop it in for you. But that was too big for the room. It dominated the whole room. It was awful. It was a good idea. It didn't work on the carpet. It was just going to gnarl the carpet up with the wheels on the bottom. To any of you who are thinking of building a sewing table, it's far better to build one and use it on laminate flooring or stone flooring. It's no good on carpets because all the weight of everything inside it, the weight of the fabric, the weight of the wool, just made it far too heavy, and it just sank into the underlay of the carpet and I couldn't move it anywhere. So I took that down, and the shelves that I had here had been cut up to make the sewing table, and now they're on opposite walls on the other opposite side of the room. I've also built another shelf unit that's behind you, and I've also got Gordon's cupboard back. I've got some little shelves behind me here, and some more little shelves down there. But I'll do a tour of my craft room for the next video. And once it's a little bit tidier, because the floor's a little bit messy still because I've been moving, just tweaking it really. It's how I want it, but there's still a few tweaks that need doing. The work table that I've got needs moving over this way. I've got the sewing table in here. I'd like to bring the floor loom in here at some point and use that, but it's a very dark room. Even in the spring days that are coming up, it seems to be a really dark room. It doesn't get the sun at the back. There's big tall trees, and I have to work with the light on all the time. So that's the only downside. But I can look at the derelict barn at the back and dream of how I could convert that into my ideal workspace. So yeah, that's it about me for now. I haven't been making a lot, but I've been pottering. Now, do you remember last year I made some weaving looms, which were going to be given to some friends, some little friends of mine? Well, I decided that they were too little for the looms. There was just too much information that they would need to know. And I really haven't got the time to teach them at the moment. And they haven't really got the time to come here for me to teach them. And it would take all day for them to walk up the loom and all the rest of it. So I just decided that was a non-starter and bought them something else instead. So I bought them a bead weaving loom, and they're learning how to make jewellery. So if they can get the hang of that, I felt they can get the hang of a rigid heddle loom. And they were quite big, and I thought, you know, they're just going to take up too much space. Bits are going to get lost. Things are going to get broken because there's 5 of them in the house. And I just thought, no, it's just a non-starter. So I've been using them. And this is the one I made for myself. Do you remember these? Well, I had a right faff trying to make it, but I managed to suss out the mechanism for locking the the fabric in place. And I made this little button. I'll do the one on the other end. It's a really useful thing. I've done this useful holes round here, and you can put the thing in any of the holes. And yeah, it was just really easy to make, really. Once I got the idea in my head of how I wanted it to be, you see, once that button's in place there, it's locked. So, oh, where are we? Dropped it. This is the little button that slots in there. Any of these holes, really, it'll slot in any of them like that. Lock it in place. And yeah, it's just really, really useful. So I'm really pleased with it. I have been weaving on it. I've been weaving a scarf. So there you go. Yeah, I've done quite a lot of, oh, you can't see there, can you? I've done quite a lot of it. I'm over halfway, and I'll show you what I've been using. I've been using this. I bought it as a kit for making a knitted blanket, and I didn't like the blanket. I couldn't stand it. It was just because of all the different textures of the yarn, it just didn't work. It didn't work in my head anyway. But this is the yarn that I got in the pack. Now I spent 20 quid on this and I didn't want to lose the yarn. Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, it came with the pattern for making the blanket. But I just didn't like it and I didn't want to waste the yarn. So what I've done is I've been using the colours, and I've got a little colour guide that I did for when I was doing the knitted blanket, so I can see the order in which the colours should be. And I've just basically been following the way that they're laid out in the box here. So yeah, so they're the colours. They're all the different colours. Now there's mohair in, there's 100% wool, which is this one. There is different textures in here. There's this bobbly yarn, which is like a beige colour. There's a mohair in this cream colour. There's a cottony chenille colour. There's a ribbon style. There's another mohair, which is this one here. There's this other textured yarn, this one here. So yeah, there's a nice mix in there. And I've got quite a bit left, so I might even get 2 out of it. Just seeing if there's anything else in there. I think that's it. Oh, there's this brownie coloured one there, and there's this brownie coloured one here. So as you can see, there's quite an array of colours in there, and I've really enjoyed doing it. It's been what I've been doing while I've not been well, and yeah, I've really, I can sit, because of the size of it and the way I've designed it, I can sit on the couch with my legs up with a blanket on, pop it on my knee and just work with it on my knee, and it's really, really, really relaxing. I've really enjoyed using it, and my brain hasn't been in a knitting space lately. The knitting thing seems to have gone a bit. I finished my tank top, but I've left it downstairs, so I'll show you that in the next video. But yeah, I just haven't had any knitting mojo at all. I was listening to Emily Kate Makes before, and she said her mojo's left the building as well. So maybe they've gone on, the mojos have gone on holiday together. They may have caught a plane and gone off somewhere. So yeah, it's been the weaving mojo lately. Now I've got three of these looms now. I've got a 10-inch, a 12-inch, and a 20-inch. So yeah, I've got quite a few. I've also got my Ashford sandpleat that's a 10-inch loom. So the heddles off the Ashford sandpleat fit on this loom. So that's really good. I'll see if I can undo a bit of it for you and show you some of the pattern. But as I say, it's been a bit of a weaving month. So let's see if I can show you some. There you go. So I'm really, really pleased with it. It's coming out really nice. I'll hopefully have it finished for you for the next vlog. But yeah, just have a slurp of my tea. Have you seen my new mug? There you go. To knit or not to knit? That is the question. I got them in the fabric shop last year. Got a little sheep with a blue knitting project and a sheep with a red knitting project. So yeah. Oh, it says to knit or not to knit. What a silly question. Yeah, it should be to weave or not to weave. What a silly question at the moment, shouldn't it? Yeah, right. So that's the first thing I've got to show you. So that was from my vlogmas. The weaving looms are from my vlogmas. When I do my new craft room tour, I'll show you the other weaving looms that I made. Because I don't know whether you remember, but if any of you've tuned into my other channel, Wildwood Cottage Diary, I showed you how to make a pin loom, a tall one. It was about 8 foot tall. And I put a hand woven scarf on it. And I was using recycled handmade yarn from different projects like balls of wool. I used a jumper, I used a scarf, and I cut up bits of fabric and things like that. And I put that into this scarf. Well, the loom was driving me potty. It was doing this all over the place because it wasn't fixed tight. It was cracking. I had nowhere to put it in here. It was up against the wall. There was nowhere to put it. So I just took it apart. And what I've done is I've taken it off that loom and I'm just warping it up onto the 20-inch rigid heddle loom that I made at Christmas. So when I come back and I show you my craft room, I'll show you that project and show you the dismantled loom. If I can find the video of making it, I'll pop it in the I button, because if you've got a artist easel, you could put it that way on the artist easel and weave with it, but it was just too big for in here. It was driving me nuts. So it's gone. It's gone. But yeah, I don't know whether you remember before Christmas for the Advent, I was doing an Advent yarn package, and we took it off each day, and we did it, I think, every other day, and I was crocheting the squares. Well, I've been doing the squares and they're all finished, and these are my squares, and I'm going to make them into the batten bed blanket. So I've got managed to get 2 squares out of each ball of yarn, and they are lovely, absolutely lovely. I'm really pleased with them. For some reason, some of the balls weren't all the same. They weren't all the same length, but to save me showing you, I've got them all in this big bag here. So what I need to do now is I need to do the cream colour. Or I'm thinking of grey, because I found a lot of grey that I've got from the pound shop. So I'm thinking maybe doing it grey, because there is white and that's just going to get lost in the yarn. But there is a silver, but if it's a dark grey, I don't think it'll matter. The only other thing I was thinking of was trying to get a brown and put all these colours into a brown, because I think that might be rather nice. But I haven't decided on the background colour yet. You know, I'll put a picture here of the batten bed blanket. It's got quite a lot of a neutral colour and then little pops of colour, which is what these are going to be. So I don't know, because there's black in it as well, you see. So what I'm thinking is I might just ditch the white, because there's cream, which I've done myself, these ones. But then there's white, and that's just going to get lost against that. So I might ditch these. The silver's not too bad. I don't know whether you can see that. The silver's not too bad. But I think I might ditch the white and maybe do a nice bright colour. There's also this weird kind of pink colour as well, if I can find it. No. So yeah, I might just ditch the white, get rid of them, chuck them away. Well, chuck them to one side. And yeah, I'll have a think about it. There's some beautiful colours in there. I mean, there's this beautiful pink and this beautiful purple, which I really, really like. See those? So yeah, I just need to decide on my background colour. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking the cream might be rather nice with all these different colours. And give it a bit of a pop. Bring all the colours out. So that's that. So that was my art yarn, all done, all the colours. I got, see, 24. I got 28 colours altogether, and I've done 2 of each. So I've got 56. But if I take the 2 white, I've got 54. So I'm not sure how many cream I'm going to need to go with that. But I think it's 4 on a square. I think that's the way it works. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look again at the pattern. But yeah, these are the art yarn. Now, for Christmas, I got this beautiful, beautiful hand crocheted flower in a square. Now, it reminds me of that Janie Crow crochet. If I can find her stuff, I'll pop it in a link in the description bar below on Ravelry. And she does the most amazing flowered crochet flowers, and she's done blankets and cushions. And I want to do the cushion to have a go, because I've never done one before. They look really complicated. I've got loads of yarn that needs using up, and I thought I'd have a go. But this reminds me of that Janie Crow, so I'll pop her in the link in the description bar below. Now, I was going to make a purse, but the purse thing I've got is too small, and I don't want to gather up the square, because I think you'll lose the effect of it if I do that. So what I've decided to do is, Leanne, if you're watching, who's my sister-in-law, I decided I'm going to make a wall hanging out of it. So I've got a bit of driftwood for the top, a bit of driftwood for the bottom. I'm going to put some nice art yarn on it, and I'm going to pop it on the wall. And I think that'll be really nice, a nice little reminder of what she made me, because I brought her a crochet kit for Christmas to make a crochet bag, and that's what she made for me with some of the yarn out of the kit. So I'm really, really pleased. It's really nice. It's absolutely beautiful. She's done a beautiful job of it. And she said she really, really enjoyed it. So, yeah, so I might buy her an Attic 24 blanket for her birthday and watch her make that. So, yeah, this is the flowers she made for me. So these are going to get attached, one at the top, one at the bottom. These are from my local beach, these little bits of driftwood. I go down when there's a storm sometimes and go down with my mum and dad and we go for a walk and I pick up bits of driftwood. So it's a good way to use them. So I think that'll be really nice. So that's going to go on the wall in here. I've also, I don't know whether you remember last year or the year before, I think it was the year before because I wasn't around much last year. I put on my sampley weaving, sorry, I'm looking that way because it's on the wall, on my sampley weaving loom some weaving and I didn't like it, so I took it off. And I asked for ideas of what to do with it. And one lady came up with the idea of making it into a wall hanging. So that's what I've done. If I can put a picture in for you, I'll put a picture of it in. And it looks really nice on the wall. I need a bigger piece of driftwood because I didn't have a big enough piece. I've got some down the garden in the vlogmas shed. So I'm going to go and have a look in there and see what I can find and pop it on a bigger piece of driftwood. So that's going to be on the wall here. I am going to wallpaper in here. It's going to be really nice and cozy. I have got lights up, but these ones don't seem very bright. They don't seem very bright at all. But anyway, that was that. That was a lovely gift of my sister-in-law. I feel like I'm waffling today. Sorry. I'm drinking peppermint and licorice tea from Lidl. Very nice. I'm feeling very thirsty since I've had that virus. I just need a drink all the time because my throat just seems to go really dry. Anyway, I've been having a rummage and I thought I'd show you some works in progress. I can't remember what I've showed you, but I found these socks. And you know, the daft thing is, all I need to do is the heel and finish off grafting the toe and then do the heel on this one. I was doing the afterthought heel and they're really nice socks. They're really warm. It's a vintage yarn and some Shetland wool that I got on a cone at Wonderwool when I used to go with Gwen. And yeah, they're just really, really nice warm socks. So they need finishing. This is the vintage yarn that I've got. It is 100% wool. So they're going to be really nice and cozy, 100% wool socks. So I just need to get them finished. You know, it's daft. I might do it over the weekend. All I've got to do is just finish the toe and finish the heel. I think the reason I didn't finish them is because they're a little bit small. But I'm not sure if they're a bit small because I haven't done the heel. So I'll see when I've done the heel. I may carry on, undo the toe again and just make them a little bit longer. So I'll wear them. So that's them. Now, I did start knitting another pair and, you know, these needles drive me absolutely nuts. Have you seen the size of this needle? I think it's more for knitting thumbs and fingers and things in mittens, but they are so small. They are Knit Pro Symphony. I do like Knit Pro needles, but you know, the stitches keep falling off the end of the needle, so I think I'm going to have to buy some longer ones. They're the 10 centimetre, and you can get the 15 centimetre. So I think I'm going to get them. It's a beautiful yarn. There you go. This is something I bought for my birthday last year. I stuck the needle through and it's pulled the fabric a little bit, but I'm sure they'll be fine. It's a lovely soft wool, and this is the wool. I found it in a wool shop in Lampeter. I don't know if they're still there, but if they are, and you're near Lampeter, do go along and support them. They're next to the Christian bookshop, Church Lampeter Evangelical Church. And yeah, there's a cafe at the church, so you could go for a cup of coffee and go and have a look at the yarn shop. So it's this yarn here. Don't know where it's from, but it is 100% wool. It is, oh no, it's not. It's 25% superwash wool and 25% nylon. There is machine washable at 40. You can crochet with it, and it is made in Italy. It's Italian yarn, and it is sock yarn. I've got two. I've got another colour as well. So I thought I'd knit a pair of socks out of this one and then another pair of socks out of the other one. So that's that. I'd like to get into sock knitting a bit more because I only really have time for small projects. I don't seem to have time for big projects at the moment with everything that's going on, with having the dog, with being in the garden, with having the house to look after. Because even though I don't work at a job, my house is my job, and I always find I'm really busy and just don't get the time for anything. So I think sock knitting and crochet for me at the moment is ideal because it's a small project. I'm crocheting dishcloths at the moment with a load of cotton I found. I'll show you them next time. But I found a load of odd balls of cotton, dishcloth cotton. So I thought, I'm just going to sit and make dishcloths because I don't like the ones you buy in the shop. You always need throwing away after a couple of weeks. So the cotton ones are good. I made myself a washcloth as well, like a flannel for in the shower, and it acts like a bit of a body scrub as well. So I'm going to make some more of them for in the shower as well. And then they'll wash in the washing machine and they'll wash nicely. So, yeah, so that's my socks. Going off on a tangent again. The other thing I wanted to show you was my pumpkins I was making. I've made some small ones and I made some big ones. I just need to put them together, put the stuffing in. I bought a bag of stuffing, put the stuffing in, and they'll do for autumn, when autumn comes around again. They were really easy to make. It was a crochet rib stitch, and you knit crochet into the back of the stitch. If I can get round to it, I'll show you. But they make nice cuffs for jumpers. If you do using the knitting machine or something, you could make your cuffs out of these and crochet them and then stitch them on. So I might do that on a couple of jumpers. Instead of doing a rib, I might just knit it and then use this type of thing as a cuff on the top, on the arms and on the bottom. So yeah, I've got a bag of them sitting in here, all waiting to be stitched in my Emma Ball bag. I've got two different colours. I've got the orange, I've got the cream. So yeah, they will go. And I had to go and making a leaf, but I'm not sure I like it. Not sure I like it. But yeah, I was thinking of doing that for the wreath I was going to make, which is in the basket up there. Just the wool. I haven't started it yet. Story of my life. Right. The other thing I wanted to show you was these. I'm going to make a tank top, I decided. These are my crochet squares that I did in the Isle of Skye. Remember I told you about these last year? I've got a light pink one and I've got a dark pink one. I've edged them with blue, as you can see, and it's a lovely light blue colour. I need to finish that one. I've done most of them. I think I've just got one to do. But I've got a nice big pile of them and got all those. And I decided I'm going to do a crop tank top that will go over the top of a strapless t-shirt with a skirt for the summer. So yeah, I need to get that done and then I can wear it. I'm going to do a band at the bottom and a band here just in the blue. I've got loads of this blue left. And this was just pound shop yarn. Pound shop yarn seems to be really good, to any of you yarn snobs out there, it's a good yarn. It is acrylic, but it's actually nice and soft. This was this yarn? I think this might have been pound shop yarn, and it crochets up really, really nice. So the kind of thing that I've done on the sleeve on this one, if you can see it, that sort of shell stitch on the end and a single crochet, and I'm thinking of doing that on the bottom of this in the blue and round the neck. So I think that'll be really nice, maybe around the sleeves. I'm going to do a wide sleeve. I think I've got one of these to go here, like that, and then I'll do a shell stitch along the edge and along the edge there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that done. This is a yarn, if you want to have a look. It's called Hobby double knit yarn. It is a pound, as I say, and let's have a look at it. It is, yeah, 100% acrylic, but it's really soft. And you could knit with it. It is machine washable at 30. So yeah. The other thing I'd like to get finished is this. This is my vintage Victory sweater. There you go. Now, I got myself in a knot. I had brain fog, and it was like my brain had left the building, and I couldn't work out how to do the V. This is a Susan Crawford pattern out of her vintage. Was it? I think it was A Stitch in Time, the second book. I want to get hold of the first one and the third one. But yeah, they are a bit expensive. I think I bought it in a sale, the book, and got paid 25 quid, but now I think they're £45, not sure. But anyway, need to get that finished. This is the front, I've got the back to do. But it went in the naughty corner because I couldn't work out how to do the holes in it. I'm not very experienced with lace knitting. So yeah, this is done in drops yarn. And yeah, I was really enjoying knitting with it, but I couldn't get the holes and I had brain fog and I just threw it away. I was suffering a lot with stress. And yeah, it just didn't work with it. But yeah, this is Drops Alpaca. I know a lot of people find knitting relaxing, but when I feel stressed, I don't find it relaxing. It's not a relaxing thing to do for me. I think crochet and weaving is more relaxing for me when I'm stressed. But yeah, fair play to you all if you find it relaxing. This one's called Drops Flora. There's the label. I bought it on Wool Warehouse. I think it's about £2.50 a ball. And it's alpaca and wool, which for alpaca and wool, I think that's really, really good value for money, £2.50. It's to be done on a 3mm needle, which I think this is being done on a 275, which was another thing. The needle was very, very fine, and I was finding that very difficult on my hands as well. So that's another reason why. It does knit up as a 4-ply. It's 24 stitches, 32 rows. So you could use it in a 4-ply pattern on a smaller needle, which is what I'm doing with this one. And there's 210 meters in a ball, 65% wool, 35% alpaca. It's beautiful. It's lovely and soft. It's nice against the skin. It's not itchy like this one has a tendency to be, because this has got a lot of alpaca in it. And yeah, nice yarn. So I've got other colours in this. I bought quite a few at the time with my Christmas money or my birthday money last year. And yeah, I've got a couple of other patterns in mind, which I haven't started yet. So yeah, that's that. That's the Jan pullover, I think it is, the Jan top, like a tank top. It's got no sleeves, it just finishes here. And it's going to be great with a skirt for the summer. So that's 2 new tops to come. I'll get that tank top done for the next video and show you that. I might do a video on putting that together, on how you can use crochet squares to make a tank top. I think that'll be an interesting video. The only other thing I've got to show you is these. I found these the other day, and I don't know whether you remember, I was going to make the Aria sweater, this one, which was a crochet square pattern. I think it's a free pattern on Ravelry. If I can find the link, I'll pop it in the description bar below. But this pattern here is crochet. Now, the reason I'm not going to finish it is I can't get any more of this yarn. I bought it in the pound shop. I knew I should have bought more at the time, but that's all I've got left. And I don't think I'm going to have enough to finish the sweater. But I was really enjoying like this mosaic look that it was coming out with. So it's just a row of the red, this one, and then change colour and do a row of that. And then it's turned out this beautiful, it's a lot redder, it's a burgundy red, but the light's making it brown, mosaic. So yeah, I'm disappointed, but I'm thinking again of making this into a tank top to wear with a skirt in the autumn. I think that would be nice. And in the winter, because I like tank tops under coats, because then you haven't got all the bulk of your sleeve. I wear them a lot in the winter when I'm working in the garden underneath my jacket, and then it doesn't really matter. So yeah, so I'm thinking tank top, same as that down there. If I can, I keep holding out, hoping. I've got 2 balls of that, but it says 4, so I'm not sure I'm going to have enough. So yeah, I've got 3 of that. So I've got quite a lot of that. But yeah, so we'll have to see. I've got it all in the bag together, so I don't know. I might try and play yarn chicken and see if I can carry on and make it into a cardigan that's sleeveless, or just do it with short sleeves. So yeah, I'll have a think about that. Now I've found it all. It was in my box downstairs. Now I've found it all. I think I might carry on, because I have got 1.5 balls of that colour left. See how many squares I can get out of it. We'll have a look. So that's that. So I think that's all I've got to show you today. I just thought we'd have a recap of my yarn and well, my projects, sorry. And the theme of all these projects has been knitting from stash and not buying any yarn, apart from the drops, which I did buy with money that was given to me as a gift. But what I'm thinking of doing is carrying on my knit only from stash for 2025 and not buying any yarn for 2025 because I have a house full. I literally do. I have a house full. I know all you crafters out there have probably got a house full as well, but the more I look around, the more I see all I've got is just loads of stuff. And it needs to be used. It really does need to be used. So I'm going to not buy for 2025. No fabric, no buttons because I've got loads of buttons. No fabric because I've got loads of fabric. No wool because I've got loads of wool. And no more sheep fleece because I have a garage full. But when the weather gets warmer, what we're going to do is we're going to go out in the garage and I'm going to show with you, I'm going to have a look for a fleece because I've got a rug, excuse me, as I've been saying for ages, I've got a rug to make for the lady down the road. I've got two to make. I found all the wool for the first one and it's all spun. So there'll be a video coming of using the peg loom to make a rug. So I'll do that as well. And there's plenty to come on this channel. And yeah, it may not be every week. It may be every couple of weeks. See how I get on. How much time really I get to do things. And we'll do the rugs together. So what I'd like to do with you is choose the fleece out of my stash because I've kept it all the fleece that lady gave me. It's all in one big storage box, one of these big, massive 100 and I don't know 500 litre box things. And yeah, it's all nice and dry out the way of the rats. And we're going to go through it together because I've got Welsh Mountain, which is beautiful, but I've also got Blue Texel. And you know, she brought them, they went straight in this box, and I've not touched them since. And that was 2 years ago, 18 months ago. Now, she probably thinks I'm a right con artist because I took them for nothing. I said I'd make it a rug out of it in exchange for the wool, and she's never seen one since. So what I was thinking of doing was giving us some money for the fleece for the inconvenience of me taking them and not paying for them and just making the rug as well. Anyway, as a sort of thank you, sorry it's taken so long, but here's some money for your fleece and here's your rug, just as a goodwill gesture because I don't want to look like a con artist or someone who goes round the valley taking wool off people, making promises and not following them through. Because I've also got this here, which I showed you as part of my vlogmas, which is wool for a lady who gave me a shed load of stuff of fabric, of wool and stuff off her mum. And I've still got that to finish. This is how it started. And these are things that I'm doing with it. And I'm just doing a different yarn with a skein. And I'm going to pass it back to her. Now, that was nearly 2 years ago as well. So I need to get on with that as well. I don't want to get a bad reputation for just taking stuff and then not sticking to my promise of what I said I would do. But I was so ill last year with all this allergy stuff and the beginning of this year. I've not done much at all, just trying to get myself fit and healthy. So 2025, the year of knitting from stash, of making things from stash and seeing what we can come up with. As part of my make, do, amend to go with my other channel, we're going to be making clothes as well, grafting them from my own clothes. So we'll be doing that over on my other channel. If you're interested, there is a link in the description bar below for Wildwood Cottage Diary, where I do a lot of frugal living stuff. And I'm also doing a wartime challenge, eating war ration recipes out of my wartime cookbooks and just doing a lot of fun in the garden by trying to do a Dig for Victory garden and growing my own food. So if you're interested in any of that kind of thing, vintage stuff, wartime stuff, make, do, amend, frugal living, saving money, link is in the description bar below, and do pop over there and say hello in the comments, and it'd be lovely to see you over there too. So I think that's it for me today. I've waffled on for over half an hour. I've shown you a good selection of things that I'm going to be working on in the next month or so. And in the next video, I'll be showing you around my craft room and doing a craft room tour once I get the floor tidy, because I don't want to show you all my mess. Anyway, I'm going to go. Have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. and I will see you soon. So take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.